Hey guys, I am sharing this um, part of a session. This session took place in December 2025, and I want to talk a little bit about it beforehand because um, as you listen to this and she's describing who she is, my first impression when I hear Egypt, I promise you, I'm thinking, okay, Moses. And then we continue the journey, and we're thinking that the person that she is or is viewing in that lifetime is Jesus Christ. And so I'm like, okay, I go on. You know, we both continue the journey together. And, towards the end, I'm realizing, in fact, what lifetime this is. And so, you know, um, at the time, I did have very limited knowledge. After this, I kind of looked more, did a little bit more research, things like that. But yeah, this is a really interesting session. I really like it because you even see how in those times there was questions regarding faith as well as the hierarchy of religions. Um, and you just see this being pieced together and everyone's faith coming together. And yeah, there's a lot of really good messages to take from this. So if you listen to this, and let me know what you like the most about this. But yeah, this is a really, really good session, and I had permission to share it. So, yeah, thank you so much for joining and listening.
I feel as though I landed in the desert sands of Egypt. Mm,
Tell me more. Look
mm.
down at your body. Can you describe what your feet look like?
I see male feet in sandal.
Very good. Trust the first impressions you receive. What color are your sandals?
They are a brown and very thin, not very well made, but I feel as though it's bronze,
Mm-hmm.
as though a part of but yes. And looking down, I see immobile bronzed feet, which have been donned by sandals. And definitely a man, but definitely statuesque because I don't see body hair. It is.
And allow yourself to scan up the body, just taking in all the details. Can you describe your appearance?
I'm shaped with a loose robe, which would have been white, and a hair hat. I don't know what they call it, but essentially a piece of cloth on my head, which has been tied down to my hair using like a circular loop. I don't know what they call the things, but something that a sheik would wear, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And thick eyebrows, fair skinned, sharp nose, a covering over the mouth.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And do you feel young or do you feel old?
Adult, like 30 something.
And do you feel healthy or do you feel sick?
Healthy. I feel warrior-ish, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm defending something.
Very good. Now, are you carrying anything?
I feel it's though a staff, like what a shepherd would have.
Mm-hmm.
Something to walk with, but not something scary or menacing.
Mm-hmm. Can you describe what it looks like?
Yes, the top of it looks like a hook made out of, and it's taller than me, so we'll say about 6 feet tall, made out of like a wood, a honey brown wood. And yes, it has a hook at one end as if, yeah, you would, I don't know what you would hook with it, but a hook. And then it just comes down to like a point or a staff. Yeah, something you would walk with, but yeah, you would shepherd with this
Mm,
device.
very good. And are you wearing any jewelry, any decorations, anything noticeable on your body?
The one thing that keeps coming out is the two rings which are holding down my hair, my I don't know, it's kind of like a hat, I guess. The cloth over my head. They seem to be a red checkerboard.
Tell me more about that.
Two rings, red checkerboard, and it stands out because everything else on it is beige or white. But it reminds me of like a tablecloth. But,
Hmm. And what is it that you're doing? Look around you. Describe the environment and do you get a sense of what it is you're doing? What does the temperature feel like?
it's a dry heat. It's hot, not humid. It's bright. So you would definitely want to wear very airy clothing that are breathable. A little bit of dusty could easily create a cough. I really want to say I should be doing sheep, but I don't think it's sheep. I'm thinking it's people.
Let's explore that. Let's just see what it is you're doing there and see that take place now.
So my first gut says source or God wants me to do something which involves a ton of people, and I am scanning the ton of people, and I am filled with doubt as I am baffled as to how do I get all of these people to do and follow what I say. I am of no importance to all of these people. And therefore, I'm unable to move or follow through on the request that God is making. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what the message is. And it's like I can't even hear or understand what the message is because I'm overwhelmed with this preliminary task of I know people. Why would people listen to little itty bitty me? I am no one.
Mm-hmm. And see what happens next.
So I, of course, express my doubts to God, and God says, I need to have faith. And I become silent at that point because I'm just like, not buying into this. I don't get it. I don't understand, but I'm not voicing that anymore because, God has basically told me to be quiet and have faith. And at some point later, an event happens which creates panic among all the people. And at that point, I'm able to and get everyone's attention and direct to the solution. Like hey, we're having, this major catastrophe over here. Everybody be quiet. In order to resolve this, we need to do XYZ. And for the one time ever, everyone is listening. I actually have an audience and their attention, and I am able to speak of the information because God has already told me the information. And I'm able to lead them in the correct direction.
And how does that make you feel?
So it gives me understanding. Now I understand why God is saying you need to have faith. And that is a contrast a bit for me, who is so analytical. It's like, given the hand I'm dealt with, I'm not seeing a solution. But really, God has more capabilities and powers than what my little universe really has. So I really feel minuscule, tiny in stature because what actually transpired to get everyone to listen to me, I would not have ever thought of that in my calculations. So I feel minuscule and compared to, of course, what God is capable of. But also it's a enlightenment of understanding I am limited
Mm-hmm.
and I need to expand my mind to what is beyond me, what is beyond my possibilities, and
Mm-hmm.
accept that.
And understanding this, how will you move forward in those moments where you would normally find yourself compartmentalizing? What will be different moving forward?
So it really is a matter of communicating and believing and waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do believe that, God will want us to use what we have in order to move forward. But when there is no solution or obvious solution, then that is the time to let go and let God and then be ready.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So what we're going to do now, like, is as if you were in a movie theater watching a movie, pressing play. You're going to see this life play out from the beginning to the end because there are messages and themes in this life that are going to help you. And as you watch this movie play, you will feel the emotions and you will know and you will understand all the messages. So allow yourself to see this lifetime playing out. You will hear everything, see everything, feel everything in a way that will not affect you, smell everything, taste everything, as if you were immersed in this lifetime yourself, watching it play out, and you will know your name and who you were in that lifetime. Allow this to take place now and let me know when that is complete.
Struggling. So we're referencing the man that I am in the desert, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. And then what I keep seeing is an actual burning bush. But I guess I keep stopping myself at that point because I was like, isn't there something biblical about a burning bush? And which I don't know what it means, but I think I'm too overwhelmed with some similarities because I do feel as though
Mm-hmm.
the people needed to be, the people were repressed and they needed a way out and they're following me to another place which would serve as their freedom. But I'm just like, this story feels a little too much like, yeah, you understand. Because you're Catholic,
Yes.
right?
Yes, we're going to, that's okay. Remember, we're not gonna overanalyze, and it's okay if it
Mm,
seems familiar and biblical. What we're gonna do is, because there is information in every story, in every lifetime that can help you. So,
mm.
what we're going to do is, we're gonna find out a little more about who you are in this lifetime. So, see yourself standing outside of your home. Be there now.
My home, I'm a nomad. I do not have a permanent home, and my living quarters is really a tent, which is on top of a variety of rugs.
Mhm.
And when I do not have on my headpiece, my hair is curly with
Mhm.
gray. Yeah, definitely maybe late 30s. Solitary person, don't really talk to people, don't have family.
Mhm.
There is no one or no pets, no nothing that really I fellowship with in the evenings around a fire. I seem to be, yes.
Mhm. And let's see, how did you end up this way? Let's move back and see where this all began. Be there now. What is happening?
I seem to have been a lonely child, didn't really have friends, didn't play with others, was always a loner. See myself still with curly hair, age of 10, running through the streets, cobbled streets. No real, I want to say happiness, but not angry or anything. Just, it is what it is. It's no real dreams, no real hope, no real just everyday living. But, remember attending school, never, volunteering answers, just a very quiet child, but yet dutiful, whatever parents told me to do, I did it. I did it well, but no real childhood friends.
Mhm. And now see yourself eating a meal. What would you eat?
Dried fish,
Tell me more. What else? What does it taste like?
salt. Never like the taste of the skin, but the skin is where the flavor. But the fish is white, but it's definitely not succulent because it's been dry. I can just the two and beans of some sort. I'm not a fan of beans. The fish is okay. But the dessert, something not really leavened, but sweet, that is tasty.
Mm-hmm. Now that you've seen what you eat and a little bit more about how you grew up and where you stay, now I'd like for you to see what you do to pass the time. If you have a job, or if not, how do you spend your days? Allow yourself to see this now.
A blacksmith is what comes to mind. I feel as though I'm really good with my hands. So I work on creating and building things, but it seems like with metal, working with fire, and still don't really talk to people. I just am given direction. Just I create thoroughly with pride, quality material.
Hmm. And how do you feel when you are creating these materials? Let yourself feel and tune into that deeply.
There's pure satisfaction. It's don't want to be disturbed, don't require background noise or information. I'm really lost into the thinking, analyzing, making changes, strategizing. Do I need a little of this? Do I need a little of that? If I do it this way, this will turn out this way. And at the end, it's final. There's such
Very good. Now, do you mentioned you don't really talk to people. Do you have any close acquaintances or any person that you see with frequently? Allow yourself to see if you spend time with anyone. Do this now.
no
Mm-hmm.
complete loner.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna close this scene and we're just gonna move forward. We're gonna move to an important day. Just moving forward in this lifetime to find out more. Allow yourself to move forward now, and as you do this, you will know what your name is. You can hear your name being called. Allow this to take place now. What is your name in this lifetime?
Girl, you are scaring me because Jesus came to mind.
Very good. No, you're doing amazing. So let's move forward in these scenes and let's just see what happens next.
In this case, my mother called me because she wanted me to fix something wood that was broken. I
Tell me
acknowledge,
more.
yeah, I acknowledge her, and it seems like it's a bowl for whatever reason. It chipped, and a portion of it separated. So, due to very few means, she's wanting to salvage it. So she calls me and fix it. I agree, but I remember thinking it's made out of wood. How do I do that versus metal that I would confident mend his fold.
Mm-hmm. Let's continue the journey in this life. We're just continuing it. What happens next?
A miracle.
Tell me about it.
I am to lead all of these people across this river. I need to lead all the people who have now noticed me and are listening and following my lead.
And how does this make you feel?
Reluctant.
And why is that?
It's a huge responsibility.
Mm-hmm. And do you make sense why this responsibility is for you? Tell me more.
Literally, it has to be because God told me to, because it is not something I would have come up with. I would have been perfectly happy having someone else be the leader and deciding whether or not I would follow this person. Because I'm not just a follower. But yeah, I understood the gravity of the responsibility of having, I mean, it's thousands of people. And once you've gotten their attention and loyalty, I guess, allegiance is more the word, then you're on spot for getting them to where they're expecting to be.
Mm-hmm. That she can understand how this relates to her. Now, in this same lifetime, we're gonna close the scene and we're gonna move to an important day. We're going to move to an important day when you first began receiving these messages with this plan and this purpose to lead, so we can understand and really feel the truth. Allow yourself to be in this important day now. Be there now. What is occurring on this important day?
It's an ordinary day. I'm in my bedroom as a younger adult, maybe like late 20s,
Mm-hmm.
and an object.
Mm-hmm. Just the first things that come to you.
It's like a wisp. No, not a wisp. It's like smoke, I guess. The translucentness, the ill-forming shape of something that just appears near my dresser, and it's having a voice and saying, essentially, it is the voice of God. And I am not scared. I am not too overwhelmed. And I am alone because it's just my bedroom. And I know to pay attention. And I am told that one day I will lead people according to his plan.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't, yes, I'm familiar with Christianity. Yes, I'm familiar with religion or higher being. I'm not totally hook, line, and sinker, fully bought in. But yes, I believe that there is a higher being. And yes, you know, we should fellowship in him, worship him. But this event it's like solidifying what I had believed in. And so I'm not overjoyed and I am neutral, but taking in the information. And it's, a brief one, brief enough to say later, did that really happen? Yeah, it happened, but not really giving direction. Just, okay, I hear you, in like a wait and see mode. But yeah, it was unexpected, but I don't feel scared. I feel at ease with the information, but maybe still a little bit reserved with the information.
Mm-hmm. And why do you feel reserved?
Because faith is intangible. Yes, faith is intangible, but yet something tangible happened. And it's a bit difficult to reconcile that because I'm expecting faith to be intangible. So it's like, okay, it did, but it wasn't enough information to say, what is it I'm supposed to do? But I see now that it was really an introduction. It's like getting your feet wet, really the beginning of the journey. And we're only going to give you just a little bit, which is what we think you can handle at this time. And then as you get more and more acclimated with this, then we're going to add some more and let that marinate and get you acclimated with that. So, yes, God is beyond what we really can fathom. And so, therefore, He's presenting it in small chunks that we can consume.
Yes, very good. Thank you for that. So let's go ahead and we're going to close the scene and we're going to move forward to the next important day, just progressing along this journey, just watching as these communications unfold and seeing what happens next to the next important day, being there now.
On another given day, an entity, a little bit translucent, like you can see through it, but yet there's a shape, there is a person, and they are saying, in the near future, your voice will be needed to guide the people. You'll know when that time has come.
Tell me more, and how do you feel? Tell me more about what's happening.
I listened, I replayed it back in my head, and I looked away to really think on it. And I had questions. And when I looked up, the entity was no longer there. So it's a forewarning of what's to come, but I don't know why. I don't know what will transpire. I don't know how I'm going to get these people to follow me. I don't know many things. And so I ponder in the days to come these same type of questions over and over again.
And what do you do as you ponder? Where do you go?
I do my daily activities, my work, my eating with my family, my bedtime routines, and I just think of these things. But there's really no action required. So I pass the days as every other day.
Can you tell us a little more about your family? Describe your family in this lifetime. See
We
yourself
have
eating a meal with them.
we have a small place, mostly made of wood. There's a fireplace. Mom does majority of the cooking. We eat dinner as a family. Most of the time, it seems as though we're having hearty meals like soup, those things that, you add a few things, but you make it stretch by adding water and flavoring. I'm an only child. We don't laugh a lot. We talk a lot. Mostly I listen.
Very good. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna close the scene and we're gonna progress to the next event in this lifetime where you start coming into more and more, progressing to the next important scene, being there now.
There is something that I can't hone in on, but the king, the aristocrat, have made some form of announcement.
Mhm. Allow yourself to tune in and you'll know more.
Mm-mm. For whatever reason, the announcement seems to end up with mass murder, mass deaths. It's like a mandate of on this day, any persons fitting this slash wow, I really want to say ethnicity will is to be killed upon sight. And so therefore the population of people who ultimately follows me, including myself, can easily fit the description in the declaration. So therefore we all need to find a safe space.
And do you
I
get
don't
it?
know why this declaration came forward, but that is what has the people in a panic.
And see what happens next. And as you see this, how do you feel?
I'm now putting together the prior key dates, the key events of, okay, there's no way I would have ever come up with this as being what spawns a panic over these thousands of people. But now that it has, I see that the information given to me by God is really the path to the salvation of these thousands of people. So I need to step into the responsibility that has been entrusted in me to get these people to a safe place. So I choose to speak to the people. And interestingly enough, I feel as though I have a microphone and everyone can hear me simultaneously, although there's no microphone there. But somehow or another, as my voice speaks, it just like reverberates across the land. And I am providing the people the hope to move forward to a safe place. And because they weren't expecting this, they're in a panic, they're hearing words of hope, they are open to do just that and follow me. And for that, I understand I could not have imagined this. And therefore, this is bigger than me. And I just need to comply with the direction I've been given.
Very good. So let's go ahead and close this scene and move to the next important day. You are there now.
We're camped out several miles away from the original location, but we know that we're still being chased and there are issues. Some people can't keep up, some people are not buying in, some people are, I don't know, it's not ideal. It's issues on top of issues. And I don't have solution for all of these issues. And I'm really focused in on understanding where is the solace. Where am I going? Where am I taking these folks who have entrusted me? A lot of responsibility. What if I'm wrong? I don't know. What am I to do?
Mhm. And how do you process things? Do you have any help?
Not from the people. I'm still very much a loner. I don't even have like a second in command, third in command, nothing. It's literally everyone has decided to put their trust in me because that's all they had. So now you have the situation setting in, and people are like, he doesn't know where he's going. Where are we going? And all the questions. And not to say that they have better answers, but I totally understand it because I don't know where I'm going. So, really, I'm just going back to trying my best to initiate conversation with God and say, please provide me more, God. Please help me understand where am I going?
Mhm. And tell me more about that. In what ways do you try to initiate these conversations? What do you do?
Just being in my tent and be like, okay, God, okay, we're here now. What's next? Come on, show yourself, do something. How many days I'm supposed to be here? It's just like, yeah, just being in my tent and just asking 50 million questions and waiting for a sign or, I don't know, some blob to show up again and give me direction. And I'm feeling a little bit frustrated and I'm feeling unsure very much is more so the words. I'm unsure. I'm like, now I'm here. Don't go abandon me now, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And what foods are you eating? Do you still get to eat food, or how is that like?
More not the cooking kind of food, but more of the dried fruits, nuts. I would say today's snacks, something that carries well and something that lasts for a
Mm-hmm.
little while.
Mm-hmm. And now that some time has passed, do you get a sense of what that law was for? See what you can gather. What insights come through regarding that?
Well, I do get a sense that most of the desired work of the kingdom had been completed, and therefore to lose at least some of the population of workers was agreeable. But I don't know what would have created such a panic.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go ahead and close this scene and move to the next important scene. And as you move along to the next important scene, you will understand what caused that panic. Allow yourself to be at the next important scene now.
They're looking for a certain child, male child, but they don't know. Yeah, they don't. It's like you have very little information. And in this case, it was something about a male child of the people. And therefore, they chose indiscriminate, punishment, or they're trying to be on the offense, but it's such a vague description that everyone feels the panic. When you can't say it's this person that we are looking for. And you give this big general, we're looking for this. And then if you're talking about a young child, then of course that then impacts parents. And it just created a huge panic. And why would a child create such a huge panic?
Explore that more. Why would a child create such
Mm.
panic? Allow this information to come through to you very naturally. See what happens as you explore that.
Something about a foreshadowing or a fortune being, no, what do you call it? A premonition, something of that nature.
Like
In,
a prophecy?
yes, thank you. That's the word. About a child being empowered in some form or fashion to undo the status of the aristocrats, the people in leadership, and therefore the king was threatened and wanted to ensure that the prophecy can't come true. So instead of pinpointing to whom that person could be, he's choosing to do a broad sword, I guess you could say, a broad stroke. And I get the sense he's extremely scary and firmly believes in the prophecy and is really taking it very seriously. There is no doubt, there's pure faith in this prophecy coming to fruition. So, therefore, I would say the ultimate reason is greed, maybe? Greed, jealousies, being scared. I don't know. He was afraid to lose his stature.
Very good. So now that we understand the reason of what caused that, we're gonna move forward, and we're gonna jump to the next important day in this lifetime, where there's information we'd like to find. Moving to that next important day in this lifetime, and you're there now. What happens next?
The miracle, the example of God's prowess and might, because although the people followed me, the army or the security, however you want to call them, followed us, and we are about to be overtaken by them. And I had already been in conversation and asking and requesting, what's the next steps? Where are we supposed to go? What are we supposed to do? And yes, getting frustrated. God, why aren't you here? This is a time where I really need guidance, and I hate to falter, but someone, a little scout, I guess, or someone comes in and says, hey, the army, or whatever, really approaching us, and they'll be here in, such and such time, quick time. And I get on my knees and I am just fervently praying, God, get us out of this situation.
See what happens next.
I hear God's voice. I don't see any, but it's like he's a voice in my head which says, go forth to the water. And as usual, my questioning self is like, to the water. And he ignores, I guess, my tone and my speech and my questioning and just says, go to the water. And I get off my knees. I open my tent and I walk towards the water, and I see the water does part. Amazing.
And what does that look like as the water parts?
It is, let's see, it's like, all of the living creatures that's in the water, and they are moved a bit, but they are like suspended. That's the word. Suspended in the water at a different, place. And you can see the sand, ground floor, and it's a true separation. The left side of the water doesn't splash or anything on the right side. And it's like the waters become like mountains, I guess, in their height, and the separation becomes like the valley. And it is obvious that is a pathway that is intended us to walk. And there was a lot of noise because you have all these folks, but as they are observing and beginning to understand what they're seeing, no one is talking.
Can you hear any sounds, whether from the water or around you?
There is like water sounds, a whooshing, but nothing of real, nothing beyond that. It's like what you're perceiving, what you're viewing is the most important thing right now. And I quickly are the quickest to snap out of my awe and connect the dot to the fact that this is where we need to be. I was just told to go to the water. I've gone to the water. Now, this is what the water has done. So obviously, this is the path. And I got to make the move. When I make the move, then the other people will become out of awe and they will just follow. And so I take the first steps. And sure enough, after a while of seeing I am not crushed by this water, the people begin to follow. And I walk and they walk and we have safe path.
Tell me about that walk. As you go along that walk,
You can see the fish, you can see the life of the animal, the corals, the, and it's like if I wanted to, I could touch it. But literally, and the sand is as sand would be, but yes, there are shells. And with our sandals, it's not an issue. It just is. It's like a nice, actually, it's cooler than normal because we're in an arid, hot space, but this water and the fact that it's so tall on both sides creates like I said, a valley, and it's a little bit cool.
mm-hmm.
And, I don't really say anything. I'm walking and I actually have that staff. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And as you make your way towards the end of that walk, do you get a sense of how long that journey was when you get to the other side?
I would say over half a day, no breaks, because again, we understand the situation. Hey, there's water everywhere. This water releases, we're all going to die. But just a constant, steady pace, nothing rushed, but it is a journey. And then it's a journey. And then the fact that we have so many people makes it, even longer for all of them to pass to get through to the other side.
And what was happening to the path as you guys walked it? What happened to the water behind?
When the last of the people were safely crossed and out of the valley of the water resumed to its normal state, and as the military was in hot pursuit, some of them were consumed in the water.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And as you tune into the energy and your feelings and thoughts, what is the energy like now that everyone is safely on the other side? And also, is there any way, a particular way that you got your staff? How did you get your staff? Tell me more about the energy in that.
The people realized it was a miracle and they are very filled with awe and gratitude. Those who didn't fully believe or was not truly committed to the faith are fully committed, including myself. There is a renewed energy to praise, to do what we were taught as a way of worship. There are tears of joy, I guess. A renewed belief in God will make a way.